Hi everyone, this is Leigh with Victorian Dreams by Leigh. How you doing? Nice to see you. So, this is Late Nights with Leigh because I do so much at night and I'm a night owl and I'm not just a glue gun girl, which I love my glue gun. Hi Charlie, night night. But I do so many other things, which I guess you already know if you saw the video right before this. So tonight, ooh, it's night. We are going to make an explosion box. So I'm not sure if this is going to be 1, 2, or 3 parts. This is all new to me on how long it's going to take. So let me move my sign. Let me show you this explosion box. It's pretty big. It's 6 inches plus this, so it's about 8 inches. It's got feet on the bottom. But this explosion box, when you open it, we're going to make a 3-layer one like this, and it's going to be this same size. So let's get started. This one needs to be in the mail. It should have been in the mail months ago, and I don't know why I haven't done it, and I swear I just need to do it. So we're going to do an explosion box. I pre-done, pre-prepped, whatever the wording is, a lot of my stuff. So go grab a snack. I'll stay right here, sit back and enjoy this, and let's go along this ride with Late Nights with Leigh and see how it goes. So the actual sizes will be posted. You'll see it right here, but it'll all be posted on Glue Gun Chronicles on Facebook. The link will be down below, and on Victorian Dreams by Leigh. The link will be down below. So let's get started. This is what you're going to need. First layer, paper size is 6 by 12, 6 inches by 12, scored in half. You need 4 sheets of that, so that's 2 12 by 12 pieces of paper. And if you want to make a pocket, which we are, you need another 12 by 12 piece of paper cut into 6 by 6s. Okay, so you're going to need 3 sheets of 12 by 12. The second layer is the middle layer. You're going to need 10 by 5, score at 5, score in half. You're going to need 4 sheets. So you're going to need 2 12 by 12 sheets of paper, and then we'll cut to measure and score. The last layer is the smallest layer, the inner piece, and you're going to need 1 12 by 12 paper, and you're going to score it all on 2 sides, all the way around, but really 2 sides, at 4 inches and 8 inches. Okay, so let's get started. I will slow down, let you pause or come back to this, but I'll also post this right here on my 2 groups. Well, my 1 group and my 1 blog. Okay, so let's get started. Here is the 2 sheets that would be 2 12 by 12s. I mean, yeah, 2 6 by 6 makes 12 by 12. So here are the 2. Okay, so all we did was cut it in half. Let me go smaller. Okay, so all we did was cut it in half and scored it down the middle. So this is 6 by 12, scored it at 6. Okay, if you don't have a score, then if you don't have a scoreboard, because we had it, let's see, it's 12 and we went right at the 6. We did all 4 sheets. Okay, if you don't have a scoreboard on your cutter, you can use this as a scoreboard, but you need to pre-measure and make your lines very straight. Okay, you can use this. It'll be tricky. You may have to have your husband or someone hold this down as you do it, but it is doable. Okay, so I cut my papers and I scored it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. Because I didn't want to waste tape, I wrote on here, because it's going to get covered up with the other layers, very bottom, no tape needed. Okay, so let's put that on the bottom. Now I already scored it in half, and let's sit down and let me find my Tim Holtz. So I put score tape right here, and I what is that called? I brazed it. I know there's another word. I had a little extra and I put there. So let's take this off. I like peeling them off, making it quick. So you can see where my tape is, and I use all kind of tapes. I get one tape from, okay, so you see where that crease is in this? I start and I put that right in the crease. Don't tape it yet, but put it right in the crease. And I know it's hard to see, but there's a crease. And I line it totally up, and it's gonna, this 6-inch piece is the same as this 6-inch piece. So we're going to line it up and stick it down. So we're halfway done with the bottom, and we are scoring it down, varnishing, no, not varnish, whatever, we're making it down. Okay, so there's half of the box. Okay, so now let's get, we already did the tape, and I ran out of score tape, and I bought tape at the expo, and it's $1.50, and I will get and find the link, but I have used this for about 5 years and have not found it to be any different than the expensive score tape. Score tape, the actual brand, you know, that we all do have, can be from $8 to oh gosh, I've seen it up to 20. You know, the thing is with me owning my own business before, I'm really savvy when it comes to finding deals. And I used to work at Walmart and did all the ordering for Walmart. So anyway, okay, so the tape is on there. This part is now going to go in between these two parts. Okay, so let's just take our time. Let's just take our time on this, girls or guys, you guys. Anyway, let's just take our time, because this is our base and we don't want to mess it up. So let's just breathe and take our time, get it in between the scoring and right together. And there we go. And now press down, get our bone folder. Let's press it down really good, and there we go. We almost have our box, so that when it opens, it's an explosion of surprises. Okay, and then I'm going to pause this and then go to the next step after we put our box together. So don't be afraid to do this. It's actually not hard at all. What's hard is just remembering your steps. But you know what? Do this step, pause me. Do the next step, pause me. Okay, remember, this is going on here. And it feels like it's going to get really thick, but it's your foundation, and it's not too bad. So don't worry about, well, you're wasting paper. You're not. So we're going to butt it up to that fold and try our hardest. I know this brown is kind of hard, but this is the color I'm going with because, now see, you can fold it over so that I can make sure that it is fitting all nicely. Okay, and then when it opens up, there we go. Did it fit nicely? Let's see, is that folding? Is that folding? That's folding. We didn't have to do that, but I just wanted to make sure. So there's my box. There's the bottom piece. This has got a little weight to it. Hear it compared to this? There's number 1. Okay, so now let's go to number 2. This is the inner middle piece. This is 5 inches by 10 inches, scoring at 5. We're going to do the same thing, but on this time, all 4 pieces have tape because when we're totally done with it as a smaller box, it goes onto the bigger one. So we already varnished. No, that's not the right wording, guys. Tell me what it is. We already, oh, I know the word, but anyway, I'm scoring down. I don't know what it is. You know, I'm going to wake up at 3 in the morning and say, ah, that's the word. So anyway, so yeah, it is. Let's see what time it is. It's 1 in the morning here. And, you know, remember I had said my favorite time to craft, or my favorite time is late night. My husband's like, why aren't you happy favorite time with me? And I'm like, nah, that's a whole different thing. This is crafting. So we are going to go put it right in the same spot. And you know, my cutter and everyone's cutter I kind of pull when I cut, it seems like. So if it's not perfectly, and there's one is a little bit longer than the other, just gauge it and put it, you know, there's a little tiny, little bit bigger. Okay. Make sure that's really stuck down. Okay. See, this is the $1.50 tape, and it is sticky. And it's, you know, it's a good buy. This is an album. Hopefully it'll be sitting on someone's table because it will have feet on it, and or, you know, a keepsake. You don't know where they keep it, but it's so nice to have. I have so many of these that I need to make. So this piece is going here. I've been making so many of these recently on consignment, commission, not consignment. So I've been missing working with paper and showing y'all. A lot of times I can't show you what I'm working on because it's gifts, and sometimes it's gifts for family. In fact, this one is a gift for my niece Allie, but she doesn't watch my videos, so I'm not worried. Okay, our last one. We already used the bone folder, so don't forget to do that. If I forget to tell you, I went ahead and did quite a bit so that our recording doesn't take too long. I don't know if it's morning time for y'all. Are you having coffee? Are you having wine? If it's night, do you even drink wine? Maybe on New Year's Eve I do, not a lot. So I love my coffee though, but I haven't had any since this morning when I woke up. My 1 cup a day. So okay, now we're going to put this in between. The last one seems to be easier because you gauge it in between that. Okay, so now this is ready to be put aside. So see, we already have the 2 boxes put together right here. See, one on top of the other. We're going to tape this down to this one in a little bit. we actually are not going to tape it down until we find out what paper we want here. So let's get to the last one. The last one is tricky, so I think I'm going to actually show you because of the cutting, and I'm making pockets. So let me get an extra sheet of paper and just show you. Let me make sure I'm in frame. Let's see, do I need to make it? Yeah, I'm in frame. Okay, this is a 12 by 12. And I'm going to go at 4. This is a Martha Stewart scoreboard. And I'm really funny about keeping everything clean. So I've had it for years. So 4 inches, 8 inches, I scored it. I rotate. This is a 12 by 12 paper. And I do 4 again. I do it twice. I'm not pushing real hard. I would rather do it twice than break through. Do not break through the paper. If you do, it is all fixable. Put your tool back so you don't lose it. Okay, we're done with the scoreboard because we scored the 6 by 12. We scored the 10 by 5 in halves, and then this one. Okay, now let's fold. This is an extra bone folder, and I got this, I think, at Daiso for $1.50, and I like the size when I'm not using my scoreboard. Let's fold it here. Okay, let's go all the way around. Let's break those fibers in just a little, not real hard. If my table looks dirty, I've had it for like 20 years, and I do bleach it and everything. In fact, I just bleached it, but you know, these 6-foot banquet tables for 20 years, I think they're doing pretty good. So there we go. Okay, now that's what it should look like. I'm sure everyone has seen this. Now let's get my scissors, and I have scissors just for paper. And I want to make pockets for each one. Each one's going to have a pocket. And then it goes up like this. So let me show you how to make the pockets. I cut right on that score line to the first square. Only one square, okay? So that you don't get confused, there you go. Okay, but this wants to go that way. Okay, so I know now that I'm going to cut this one right on that score line. Okay, there's my one pocket. Now this is going to be my second pocket. Okay, see how it's working out? It's going to stand up. So now let me move that out of the way so I can get to this score line. There's a score line, and I'm only cutting one line. And if it's off, this is okay. All the browns blend together. If you cut it off a little bit, all the browns blend together. Plus, you're going to put fancier paper, pattern paper on top of this. This is just your base for... Okay, so there's our second pocket. So let's close that up so you can see. See how I'm making pockets? Okay, this one is a pocket. So let me cut on that score line. It is hard to see because it's brown. I mean, I'm even having to really look. So there we go. That goes there. There's our last pocket. Okay, so see how we did that? Okay, now I want to make a tab so that you can pull it out. So what I do, and this is how I have found it easier, so I'm here to give you all the little tips that I know. This is a 4-inch by 4 inches. Okay, so I am going to have a punch, a little round punch. And what size is my punch? My punch is a 1-inch punch, and I only need half of it. So I'm going to go right here and make a mark at 2 inches, and this paper line right here gets covered up with the fancier paper. So now this has halfway mark and center. Halfway mark and center, if you can see it. There's little arrows. So I am taking my punch, and I can see that little mark and my arrow matching up and the halfway mark. And what do? I punch. Okay? So that's how we punched. See it? Okay. So now let's put that off to the side. We don't need that. We don't need that little thing anymore. And I've got all of them. Got them all punched out. I've got the tape on the back because it goes on to the middle piece. And I used smaller score tape, 1/4, to make my little pockets. So let's go ahead and get our Tim Holtz stick. Oh, I don't even know what it's called. It's a Tim Holtz needle, whatever. So, and peel these two off. We have it on the bottom here. The bottom, I say bottom, this is the top. The bottom here, which would be in the middle, and on the side. And we fold it over. Okay? And then score it down. And then there is the little pocket. I already know the size of the pocket, and I'll tell you that on our next step. And there's the pull so that we can actually get to it and see it. Okay? So, take this off. Take that off. Fold it over. Okay, we're almost done with this. I'm almost putting you on pause and then go cut my fancy paper, which I'm going to use Graphic 45. Let me tell you, you cannot go wrong with Graphic 45. The quality of that paper and how thick it is and the beauty of it. So there's the pocket. Let's do the last one. Now, we are now done with the bases of our box other than the top. And I'm going to do the top last. There we go. Let's break those fibers in the paper. Okay, guys. We are done. This is what it's going to be like. You know what? I have one more step, but that's what it's going to be like before we add our goodies. This is the same color paper. This is Graphic 45 by the sea. See, here is a pocket. Pull out right here. I need to hold it because there we go. And it's got pockets on this side. It's got pockets on this side, inside pockets. My hands are sticky. Okay, let me not rush. And see, that's the small one. That's the medium one, and that's the large one. You see on this large one, we have a pocket. Let's go ahead and do that pocket now and be done with this one. It is snagging on the tape. There we go. We got it. Alright, so let's move this out of the way. I don't want to break that. That goes to a gift, a thank you gift that should have been mailed out so long ago. Okay, so we're going to do a pocket on this big one. You don't have to. You can put a lace pocket. Before I've done this and I've only used lace pockets, but I'm going to do a paper pocket because on this project I know for a fact I have a lot of photos. So I need extra photo space and those pockets will hold it. So this is 6 by 6 one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I already measured half the distance, measured that out, made my little pull out. Okay, you know, paper, I'm very, very particular, so I want each of my paper to fit the paper as best as I can. So I wrote, this is 3, so this goes on 3. This fits 2 the best because I don't cut paper the perfect. So yeah. This is 1. So what do we do to make this pocket? Right here, we get our score tape. See, this is the score tape I was talking about that everyone uses. This can be from $8 to $20, depending on the size of the score tape, and it's really pricey. So any deals I can get for you for $1.50, I will give you the links. Okay, so let's go ahead and do on 3 sides. The score tape to make our pocket. There might be 100 other ways out there. This is my way. My way, my way. Okay, let's come in here, make sure it is stuck down really well. There's a little bit of extra tape right there. Make sure it's stuck down really well. Let me make sure I'm in frame. I am. Okay. You know what the trick that I have? I go ahead and I measure from inside the score tape, and it looks like it's going to be 5 1/4. So let's make a note to myself. 5 1/4 wide would be the biggest that I can make my inside pocket that I pull out. I may make it 5 to have extra room so it doesn't snag on that, and you know, and everything. And then this way is 5 and 5 1/2, about, I would say 5 1/2. 5 1/4 and 5 1/2. That's going to be my inner pocket size. That's how I just figured it out. That way I don't have to try to fit a piece of paper. It doesn't work. Trim it, keep trimming it. Okay? So now let's just make a pocket. We already have the pull tab. Don't forget to do the pull tab punch. If you don't have that kind of a punch, just draw a circle and cut it out. Put a penny there and draw half of a penny, half of a heart punch, you know, the back of the heart punch, you know, something like that. Okay, so now we are going to put it right in that crease, right ahead of it, a hair with it, and we are laying it down. Okay? Make sure it is really stuck, and here is your pocket. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and do all this, and then we're done with this step. And then we'll cut some really beautiful paper, and we'll put it together. And then the next and the last part will be decorating, and that's the funnest part. Decorating, and I'm going to go ahead and print the pictures, excuse me. I'm going to print the pictures because I don't think she will. I don't know if she has it. She was the princess for the royal family in St. Augustine, where I am from, the oldest city in the United States, St. Augustine, Florida. She was the princess last year. And so I have a lot of crown stuff and everything, and it's going to be decorated beautifully. So, but I know there's a lot of pictures, and I don't know if, you know, kids and people, all they do is take pictures now and they're on their phones, but do they ever really print and then save them? But she'll love this keepsake. Her mom will probably keep it. Hi, Mary. I'm sure y'all will like it. I miss playing with paper. I love paper. Paper, I don't want to say it was my first love because I did woodworking in high school with a whole bunch of boys. That was fun. Of course, I got an A because I would watch what my dad would do, and I thought, I can do it. So that was fun, and I took art classes in high school too. When I went to high school, we could take extra classes. To graduate, I had like 3 or 4 extra credits. Now you have to have so many credits. I think I had 21, but I think I only needed 15 or 16 to graduate. So, you know, I had to be there. I might as well be in a class I liked. So let's be on that crease. Don't go past the crease and then you have to refold that. Be this side of the crease of your score. Tape is wanting to pull on me. Okay. These pockets are seeming to take the longest. There's the last pocket coming. Okay. But yeah, paper. I love paper. Plus, if you go wrong with paper, it's just paper. You can usually either save the paper for another project, downsize it, but you know, it's not the end of the world. So, but yeah, I love paper, and so I wanted to do this time, but you never know. I might be showing y'all building the house at the lake. I might be cooking something. Me and Johnny both love to cook. Boy, do we have some really nice recipes. Some of our best friends owns restaurants in St. Augustine, and we're really good cooks. So, you know, whatever I can think of, whatever you ask, I'll try to kind of help out and be there and have fun. This is just a fun thing to do. Late nights with Leigh, and thanks for being on the ride with me. Let's see how far this ride takes us. 2 months from now, it might not have worked, and you might be tired of me. Okay, pockets are done. So the box, other than the top, and the top is pretty easy, we're done. So now I'm going to pause y'all, and I'm going to get the Graphic 45 beautiful paper and come back with it already pre-cut so you know the next step. Okay guys, thanks. Okay everyone, I am back. I cut out Graphic 45's paper, and it is called Gilded Lily, and I'm sure everyone has seen it. Everyone has seen the Gilded Lily, but since I'm doing a princess project, how could I not use this? I actually use the B side more than anything. So it's gorgeous paper, and this is what I used. So let's get started back on the fancy paper with the with it. So let's see here. What do I need to tell you? I need to tell you that this is the fancy paper, and you are going to need, for the first layer, the large box, the paper needs to be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, 4 sides, and 1 for the top. And let's see, 5 3/4, 5 3/4, 4 sides and 1 for the middle. Okay, then on the outside we need 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 times 4 plus 1 for the top, and then 1 inch by 6 inches. I think that's 5 3/4 to go around, but we'll do the top. Let's not worry about the top. We'll do the top separate. So 5 3/4, 5 times for the inside because you got that flat bottom, and then 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 4 times for the outside. The pocket tag, you're going to need 4 of them, and it's going to be 5 inches by 5 inches. And remember, I'm going to bring this up for you to see, and also I'm going to print it. I probably will type it out. I don't know if you could read all this, my handwriting and all. I'll put it on Glue Gun Chronicles on Facebook, the group that I started, and my blog, Victorian Dreams by Leigh. So the second layer is the middle layer. We're going to need the fancy paper, the printed paper, to be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, 4 sides of the box, and 1 middle for the bottom. Then you need 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, 4 pieces for the back side, the flipped up. Okay, and I'll show you in just a second how quick and easy it's going to be to understand what I'm saying. And once you see it, when you go back to this, you're going to say, oh, she really gave us all the information. Okay, the third layer is the smallest inside. It's going to be the fancy paper. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, 4 sides plus the middle. 3 3/4, 3 3/4, 4 pieces, the back flip side. The pocket is going to be, the tag will be 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, so just pause this as you need it, or print it from the links down below. Okay, so here is the smallest. This is the 3 3/4. 1 2 3 4. That's going to be on the back side. Let's move this. 1 2 3 4 5. That's going to be for the front. Okay, so now when I make a pocket page, I like to see the decoration here and then look at it and pull it out and twist it. Whatever the decoration is, I don't want to be reaching over and pulling this out. See, here's the pull out. This is from the other one I showed you, so it's not going to be red. But just imagine that's in there, and you have something decorated here. Now I've got to pull out and try to look at this. Well, I don't want to do that. So how I do it is, as I look, I twist. And then I can look at all 3 flaps, enjoy the flaps on this, because see, I'm not going to see, if I'm looking, then I can't see that flap. So I twist, and I think that's works for me. Okay, so since I twist, I'm going to make sure everything is facing the direction I want it to face. So it's going to face, I'm going to face me. Okay, so let's get out our Tim Holtz pick. And also, before I get started, the paper, I used Tim Holtz Distressing Dye, tea dye. This is a sponge, makeup sponge. And let's go ahead, and also these caps are really bad, so you have to tape them down. That's the only bad thing I can say about it. Is, see, I have it taped and all. So let me show you. This is one that is going to be on the outside. So let me show, if no one's inked, which I think everyone has. But the reason why I'm really going and explaining in detail is I have so many new subbies that that don't have a lot of followers. So I'm just thinking, if you're new, I want this to be easy. If you're a seasoned crafter, like a lot of you and most of you probably are, then you know what? listen to my voice as you're crafting, or fast forward, or move that little bar faster. But so anyway, let's dab and just add. And it what it does is it softens those edges. It makes it look a little antique or vintage, and it just adds a third 3 dimension, and it just looks better. So see how much difference that looked? And I did them on all of them, and they're all matching. Plus this tea dye, and what I do is I tape it back, then I take that, I have a piece of tape here, and I tape the sponge, because in that sponge there is still ink, and it goes in my buckets. You know how I have my buckets, that will stay, and I will always use that. So let's move that out of the way. Let's always have a wipey, because I don't want to get that print and a thumbprint somewhere and ruin something. Okay, so enough about the ink. Okay, and it just brings it up a notch. But Graphic 45 is gorgeous paper. Okay, so you can see I did it on everything. Okay, so let's peel these apart and decorate this real fast. I think this project will probably take someone 3 hours from start to finish. I am going to have to go back and redo this punch, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to have 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so I'm just going to eyeball it where I think it will go. Okay, and this is going to be my front, so let's go ahead, and I already used my bone folder and made sure all the tapes on all the pieces are secure. Since this is my front, I want this to match, so let's go ahead, and there's going to be 1/8 all the way around, so that told me that's going to be my front. Okay, now when I'm looking at this one, once we're totally done with this and at the very end, you'll understand what I mean. So let's go ahead and put this here. We'll make sure it's all secure when they're all down with my bone folder. Okay, late nights with Leigh. This is what I do a lot of the times, is craft. If my husband's out of town, it seems like I don't sleep. Well, if you know me, I only sleep like 5 hours a day in a 24-hour period, so I'm always awake, it seems like. And then about 3 weeks after doing that, I crash and sleep a good 8 to 10 hours every 3 weeks and kind of recharge what I need to. So we're going to use this, and we're going to just secure it all down, all at one time. Make sure we do a good job. Now what I did do is there's tape there. So now just going to go in. If I'd have thought about it, I would have, in fact, let me do it. If I would have thought about it, I would have pre-cut. So we're learning as we go here, guys. I would have pre-cut right here. I'm going to put just a little pencil mark, and I'm going to then erase it or probably cover it up. Remember the trick. There you go. So there's the pocket, it's facing me. This is from the other one, but it will fit. And then I can pull it out. The picture will be looking at me and I can enjoy it. Okay? Let's go ahead and do this real fast. I didn't want to take the time to do this and all, but I guess I will. I'm just making a little pencil mark. So let's stick this in there because we might as well just get it done, because I don't want to have that tape get too secure and tear anything up. So let's remember to do that on the next one. So let's center this. There is center right there. So see, we're all learning together here to go ahead and pre-punch that. But you know what? Maybe it's a better that I'm doing it now, because if you pre-punched it and you were off, then you'd have to punch it again maybe. So maybe this is better that we are doing it this way. Kind of centering it. Put a mark there. Put this, and this is a little punch. And to do these, I think you're going to need to have a little punch. A penny size. So there we go. Okay, so now let's flip it over. Let's see, the front is here. So instead of flipping it over, okay, I have to make sure these are going the right direction since they're words, and I wanted brown to match brown. Brownish cream tan color. So let's pull these off. And so I don't make a mistake, I'm going to just fold it over like that, because I would hate to put it upside down the wrong way. And 1/8 of an inch, eyeballing it, and then we'll flip it over and make sure it's secure. Okay, so let's pull these off. I am going to stand up and make sure that I am in frame. Okay. And let's put it, see, that tape is really sticky. Another thing about the ink, especially the one I happen to choose, it kind of blends with the paper. I knew to use the brown paper because of what patterns I was going to use, and it all blends real nicely. So I'm happy with that. This paper is just gorgeous. There's a few of Graphic 45s that I don't really use, like I think there's a Zoo one or Bazaar or something. I don't know, but most of them I love. So let's eyeball it, just barely stick it on, and do the last one. Let's see here. Paper, the $1.50 tape is really sticky. So, and I did use a whole roll of tape for this, and I think you would almost use 2 when it was all said and done. So let's flip it over. So yeah, at the total end of the project, when I'm totally done, I will write down and communicate with you how much tape and paper you're going to need for this project, because if you don't want to buy graphic 45, so there's the box. If you don't want to buy graphic 45, you can go buy specialty paper and all. So okay, now once for the bottom, this is the flip side. Okay, I inked them all. But you know how you can find the papers individually to buy? That way, if you find something you really like, I'll go ahead and tell you how many sheets of paper. So, and I would always, let's see, this has got a pattern. Let's make sure it's the right direction. 1/8 space, eyeballing it in. Okay, now this right here is a seam, and it's 2 pieces of paper, but I didn't want to cut a whole nother 12 by 12, so I seamed it together, and when you put it there, you're literally only going to see 1/8. You're only going to see where I inked it. Everything else is going to be covered up with this box here. So I didn't want, see, you don't really see the seam and all, and so I didn't want to cut. I just used the extra. I don't even know if this is all going the right direction now that I think about it. I might have got the patterns to look right, but since it has words, the words may not even be going the same direction. But with it only being 1/8 and all, I don't think you're going to see it. See, I'm going to keep that one piece of tape there to keep it together. And let's see, this is going this direction, and it is going all the same direction. So that was a nice surprise. Did it without even thinking. So there you go. Okay, but that's going to be hidden with another box. So say, hey, I can see a seam. No. I think I just moved the mat, so I don't want it to be out of frame. So let me get up. I am wearing my PJs. I don't want to make you dizzy. Okay, let's read the paper print, make sure we're the right direction. Okay, you know, you can always heat it up with a heat gun to release the paper and move it to where you need it, or you could use dental floss and get up underneath there and jimmy it to undo it. The heat gun I've used, well, I've used both. Actually, if you have those old albums and your pictures are turning yellow with that film, that's how you get it off, is the dental floss. I learned that way over 20 years ago. Did you know that creating memories 20 years ago, remember this original punch? I used to sell for them and teach scrapbook layout page classes. If you know this, then you've been crafting quite a while. I know that they make those now, the corner punches now, but that company, everything used to have to be acid free, which this tape and this paper is acid free, but now the mixed media has just really gone crazy, and I love it where you add everything else. Okay, so sticking to me. Let's eyeball this. Oh, that was close. Let's eyeball this in. And there you go. So now, let's just make sure it's very secure with our bone folder tool. Still don't remember what I'm doing here. Okay. Now, I was going to have this on there, but I didn't like the pattern as much. And this is just too cute. Even though I cut pieces off, it's such a beautiful pattern. So, which one is my favorite and which way is forward? Which is the front? The front is right here. Okay. Which one is the prettiest? I think they're all the same. I actually sold for creating with details. That's May's. Creating memories, memory keepers. Oh Lord, why don't I know the name? I know I can tell you the name because I have one of their original mats. Creative Memories. I mean, look, that mat is 20 some years old and it is really used up. I need to clean it. Okay, so we are going to eyeball it in, stick it down. We'll flip it over when we're done and use our tool and secure all the tape just in a second. As I was getting all these papers ready, I was watching a little TV and I uploaded the first video to splice this one together using the YouTube create a movie video setting. Okay. And so that was nice to have that already done. But you know, we got a lot of editing to do. I heard myself say, oh, I made a straight A in woodworking. I think everybody did. It was an easy class. It wasn't that it was hard or that I'm really smart. It was just a pretty easy class. A fun class. I think if, you know, it's an art type of class, so I think if you just apply yourself and do your best, you could probably make a pretty good grade in the arts, because art is in the eye of the beholder, is what I was trying to get to with all that mess. It's late night with Leigh. Maybe I'm getting sleepy. Kind of am. But I want to just at least finish putting the box together. And then, okay, this brown on brown, I'm not seeing it as well as I wanted to. Okay, let's flip it over. Make sure it's all secure. A lot of times I'll do all my editing stuff, put it on the machine, because I'll upload and I'll ask for it to do like 3 at one time, and then I'll keep it private, and then when I get up in the morning, so there's the next box. When I get up in the morning, it is ready for me to just put my links, a part of it. That's going to be the inside. You know what is so nice is this, I ended up using the blue for the outside of the box, and her dress was blue the whole time, so this was just so nice. So that worked out really nice too. And so that'll be nice. Nice, nice, nice. I wish we could have music in the background. I would probably be listening to Southern rock. So that was the flip side, and it's so pretty. But she is just now 18, and I don't think she is into the Victorian-ish look of that. Remember, we got to repunch this. So I did the B side of most of these. I would be listening to, if we could listen to music, I'd be listening to Southern rock, probably Leonard Skinner. They were only 30 miles from where I grew up, and they were from Jacksonville, and I really like them. Okay, see, that's upside down, so because that's that way, I want the pattern, does have a pattern, and I want it to go the right direction. So that's the only thing you need to be worried about when you're doing this, is make sure your pattern is the right direction. So yeah, and if you don't know Leonard Skinner's Southern rock, I'm sure you do. Sweet Home Alabama is one of them. Freebird. Anyway, so see, let's go this way. We're going to have this done pretty quick, putting it together and everything. It looks quick, but I do think it's going to take you, because of the pattern, I'm looking at it and I know, and it makes it easier to know which direction it's going. Okay, so because this is the outside of the box, I'm going to just fold this. Now see, that's a little off. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Because this is the outside, it all looks exactly the same. So I'm just going to pick one to be the front, and I may even have to make a note on it so that so this will be my front. Okay. We're going to put this together real quick. Give me about 5 more minutes and we're going to put it together and be done with this part. So because this is the front, I'm just going to make a note on the bottom here, just an F, that this is the front. I'm going to erase that. Okay. Now, because this is the outside and her dress was blue, and I like the white little roses, and I'm going to have roses on the outside, so that's why I chose this for the outside and not this one. So, which one do I like best and which direction? And this is what I'm not using, so that is up. This is up. Let's make sure. can't see it when I totally put it down, so I gotta have it up just there. And see how the ink matches with the paper so well that it kind of makes the brown and blend easier. Just got lucky on that one. I've used white and black and the brown when I make these explosion boxes, but you know, you got to go with what matches your paper. Whoa. Okay, you know what? I can still put this on, but I forgot that I really need to make those holes for the punches, but I can still do that. We'll push it down when we flip it over. But don't let me forget to make those holes for the punches and erase the 4 pencil marks on the other one, which I'll see that. And then we'll put it together. 5 minutes is turning into 10, isn't it? Okay, so let's make sure it goes the right direction. This is going to look really pretty with all the crown stuff I have. Princess crown. And wait till you see what goes in the middle. This one is a little tight because I got it right in the seam, and it should have been a hair that way, but it stands up and it'll flop down. It's not a problem, but I can just feel it. And I want y'all to learn from my mistakes, and boy do I make them. There's stuff I have made in here that will never see the light of day. It just didn't turn out right. Hand was stuck to that. Okay. This is the very bottom. We're not going to put a piece of, we could put a piece of paper there too, but because it's graphic 45 and they are a little pricey, I don't want to waste it. I am going to put big flat backs here because this is paper. I want the flat backs to keep it I want the flat backs to keep it safe and not hurt the paper with it being moved around. Now what I'm looking for is, it says handmade by yours truly, and since I have the ink right here, I am going to ink it real fast. I normally wouldn't do this, but this is a gift for my niece. If someone buys something from me, I don't do it because I don't know what they're going to do with it. See if that's got enough ink on it. Where, and where's the front? Let's see, this is the front. So let's hopefully, I'm gonna put it off in the middle a little bit because of those feet. So you can barely see it. I could have used a darker color. I am going to clean this real quick so it stays clean, because you never know what color I'm going to use the next time. And so now it still looks brand new because my wipey was right there. Okay, so let's close this back up, tape it all back around, and we save that for another day. This put right back there. we'll put the feet here later. Okay, guys, let's do the punch and put it together. Putting it together is actually very easy. Don't be worried about how hard it is. It's not. So I need my center point so I can see real quick. And see, I had already put the paper here, and I thought, oh, I don't want to punch that, but it's going in between. See how that little device is going in between, so I'm not as worried about it now that I thought about it and said, oh, wait a minute. See? And let's move that. Let's do the other three and put this together. Call it the evening. I think that it's getting late enough that I'm going to finish the rest of this tomorrow night. Late nights with Leigh. Tomorrow I have plans during the day and do a little chores around the house, cook dinner, check on family, and craft tomorrow night. Sometimes late night will be before midnight and sometimes will be after midnight. Okay. And if you're in your PJs, I am too. Boy, it rained hard so much today that my electricity went out for a couple hours. And then it cooled off. It really was nice. So me and my husband, after we ate dinner about 8 o'clock, we got in my car and put the top down. Okay guys, my video got full and look what I put together the last 5 minutes. So I'll go through that, and if anyone has any problems, which I'm sure you won't, I'll be there to help you. So welcome back to Late Nights with Leigh. So I took the box and I centered it in the middle of this one. Centered it in the middle. I just eyeballed it. Now you could actually measure and get it exactly perfect, but once you decorate and everything, I don't think it'd be a problem. See where I spliced those two pieces of paper together? You can't even really see it, so don't waste your paper if you don't want to. And then I started with the bottom one, not the little one, and then took the middle one and put it in the center and put it here. And I eyeball the distance between this corner of this box and the corner here and just put it there. And if I measured, it may not be perfect, but it all works out because it all folds in together. So I hope that explains it. Of all things, this is the only part that, you know, you probably needed to see, but I think it's pretty much visible and easy to see. So let's do the lid, then we're going to do part 2 of decorating. So the lid is an 8x8 piece of paper, score 1 inch all the way around, all 4 sides, and then cut the tabs. The fancy paper, and I'll go through this, the fancy paper, printed paper, will be 1 sheet, 5 3/4 and 5 3/4 top, and then 3/4 by 5 3/4 on the side, the little tiny strips. So let's see, this was 8 by 8, and we scored 1 inch, turned it, 1 inch score, 1 inch, and 1 inch. Okay, then we very carefully, slowly, folded it in to break the fibers. Don't do it really fast because you don't want to crease or make a hole in your crease. And we folded it all the way around. So now the tabs, each one, we're going to fold the tabs in, fold the tabs in, fold the tabs in, fold the tabs in, and then I cut a little triangle, not half, but a little triangle to get some of that pressure off for when you tape it down. Okay? So let's cut that last triangle. It does need to go to the tip, but it does not need to be half of it. So let's come above, see where they're half, let's move it over and just cut there. And it makes a triangle, but it's not perfectly sided. Okay, so let's get our score tape and score this. This time the score tape goes on top, not on the bottom, because you flew away, because you want to seal it. Okay. Let me make sure I'm in film, or in frame, not film, frame. My hubby is here with me working on the computer. Say hi, John.
Hi.
Say hi, John, real nicely.
Hello.
Let me get my Tim Holtz pick. Take this off and meet those lines up. See how I met the two lines up? Okay. Okay, how hot was it today in the sun, honey?
Very hot.
What was the temperature today? 100?
Mm-hmm.
It's always over 100, isn't it? Now we want to really, really, really push hard to make sure that that gets sealed tight. If the lid is too tight because your box gets real thick with a lot of pattern paper and everything, I bump this up and add 1/4 to the size of this paper. I've only had to do that one time out of all of them that I've made. So, okay, so there's the lid. And let's get our box. Let's see, there's the front. It's tricky, you gotta hold it all together and fit it in. Ah. I know Johnny's right there, but he's busy working, and I can do this. I've done this before. Especially, and it's the first time going on. So there you go. Okay, so now let's decorate this. So the front, and I want it to match up, so I'm going to write front in here real small so that I know. And now that I made a boo-boo, I'll tell you, I should have put the pieces on before I did the little tabs, because now it's going to just be a little bulky. It's doable, but you know, it'd have been easier. Let me make sure the paper is going the right direction, and all. So now we're going to just eyeball it into place. And I always put trims and beading and lace, so even if it's off a little, it's not going to be a problem, because once you decorate, so that's what the inside looks like. See the tabs and all. So now let's put these on, the 4 pieces, and this is going to be part 1 of the explosion box, and then we're going to decorate with part 2. I'm trying to figure out if y'all want a really long video. This is extremely long already, so gosh, it would be really, really long. Or if you just want 1 part, 2 parts. So I guess, guys, if you just let me know, we'll go from there. See, this is hard because of the... So let me know if you want, see how it follows. So let me know if you want just one really long one. It could be like 2 hours, which, God, who wants that? Or do you want part 1, part 2? What works best for you? It doesn't matter to me, because I have to stop videotaping and upload anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's whatever my viewers want, because I'm just here to help and share, give you ideas. You may have a better idea, and if you comment and let me know, I'll be happy to learn it from you. I taught 43, I think the most was 43, almost 50 Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts for over 10 years. And you know, they start at 1st grade, so sometimes if I'm over teaching, it's what I did for 10 years with them, so I kind of get into that routine to make sure I tell everything I could possibly know, even though some of it y'all may know, or you know, it's common sense. I just want to be very thorough and help as much as I can. So it's just a habit. Got lucky there. Yeah, so next time, before we make an explosion box lid, let's go ahead and do that before we... Okay, so now the lid's on. And we haven't decorated. The decorating is the most fun. And so here's the front. Now here's the front, and there. So anyway, okay guys, let me show you the sneak peek of why I'm doing this. These are $11.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I got it 50% off last year. I'm sure they're going to have them this year. After I bought these, I saw them in silver, but these are the gold, but it matches the paper real well. And I'm going to take one. I don't want to take it out right now because of the glitter. I'm going to put it in the middle. And I may have roses in the middle on a bed and raise it up some. So we're going to decorate next. So guys, thank you for joining me on my very, very first late nights with Leigh. And don't forget to be a subby and like and share and comment. Tell me if you want me to change something up. Remember, if you want all the paperwork that I'm going to print, the template information, just go to down below and you'll see my links to Glue Gun Chronicles, which is once a week, and that's a giveaway on that. And Victorian Dreams by Leigh blog is a link, my Pinterest link, and Google link. Now the Google link is really good because if you do the Google link, every time I post, you will get a notification when you pull up your Google to then go into whatever you use. I use Google Chrome. I think it's the best. And then when I pull up Google, it gives me a little bell and it says someone has posted a video. And that's how I know who I follow, what to go see if I have time to do it. So all my links and everything's there. So guys, in just a few minutes, I'm going to have part 2 up. Thanks, guys.